Hi and welcome to this first video of our great tutorial series about Swift. Well, not long ago, Apple introduced this new programming language, and it's great for everyone to get right started with iOS development. It's a new programming language for iOS and macOS. And to get you started, I'd like to show you a really cool app that we're going to create in this first video. This app doesn't do much. We have a little image here, and once we click or press the apply effect button on the iPhone or the iPod Touch, then you see that we'll get a nice little sepia effect here. What you're going to learn in this tutorial may not seem completely logical to you. You may even think, I won't get this. I just can't imagine how to write apps myself, or how do I know what to write, or whatever. Put these second guesses away. Just try to understand as much as you can, and if you don't understand something, that's not a big deal, actually. At the end of this course, you will actually say that this is just a breeze for you. This is so easy, and you're going to be familiar with a lot of things that you think now are just impossible. So, to create this, we're just going to open Xcode, which is currently still in beta, but maybe once you watch this tutorial, you will also have the final version in your hands. So in this tutorial, I'm not going to explain every detail of Xcode. There are other videos in this course for that reason and for that purpose. So let me just give you the basics, and let me give you a quick introduction so that you can just follow along and create your own application, your own first iOS application. So we create a new project, and you see here a lot of templates for different OSs like iOS and OS X, and you got application frameworks and library and so on. We don't deal with them right now, so let's just go ahead and select the single view application here. Click next, and let's give our product a name. I'm going to explain all of these things here in a later video, but for now, just let's give this project a name, Swift Image Project, or whatever you like. And we click next and select to save this on our desktop, and click save. And there you see, there's our project, and there are many different controls here, and many things that you might not familiar with, but that's not a problem. We will start with main storyboard in this tutorial. And you see that we have quite a big screen here, which is larger than an ordinary iPhone 5S or 4 screen. This is to do with new size classes that were introduced in iOS 8. But for the sake of simplicity, we will turn these size classes off by clicking on this button here, which is the file inspector. If you don't see this, then you probably need to show this pane here on the right side by clicking on this button here in the upper right corner. So you click it, you see all these different controls, and you click then on this first icon, which is the file inspector, and we just disable use auto layout and confirm this by saying disable size classes in this alert view. And what we get now is a simple view controller. This is called a view controller, and which has the size of an iPhone 5S screen. So when I click this play button, which is actually the so-called build and run button, then we will build this project, and we will get this simulator here. You can also, if you're a registered Apple developer, which makes sense if you want to sell your apps in the App Store, then you need to be a registered Apple developer. Then you can also just connect your iOS device with your Mac and select it here so that you can test your apps directly on your phone or your iPad or your iPod Touch, whatever. So if you're not a registered developer, or for the sakes of simplicity when testing apps, you can just use the simulator, and I'm using the iPhone 5S simulator at the moment. Just click play and you see that we get this iPhone simulator, and this actually represents exactly the application that's going to be installed on your phone later. In earlier versions, there was a nice frame around this window, but it's gone now. So if you want to see what's possible with the simulator, just press Command Shift H on your keyboard to go to the home screen of this of the simulator, and you can see a lot of familiar stuff like calendar, photos, and so on. And of course our app, which is Swift Image. And we have a pretty empty view controller here, so let's change that and go back to Xcode. And what we have here is the so-called object library. And in the object library, you'll find a whole bunch of UI components, user interface components, like a button. So if you don't want to scroll through all that stuff here, just go into the search field here and type in button, and we will drag this button just to our screen somewhere. Let's say in the middle. You get these nice guidelines, and that will snap when you place an object here, so we know this is exactly the middle or the center of our view controller. And what we are also going to need, you saw this image, is called an image view. So let me also type image view here in the search field, and there is the image view, and we can just drag and drop this here and adjust the size a bit. So let me position this like here, and this is nothing else but a container for images, and we're going to bring one image into our project, which is this one. Looks like this. It's the Swift Man, and we are going to place this image within our app, and therefore there's a specific place called images. And notice that here in this image is a PNG file. This is important. And secondly, there is the add2x. The add2x specifies that this is an image designed for Retina resolution. So you actually have no iOS, no iPhone that isn't Retina anymore, that runs iOS 7 or iOS 8 now. But there are also there's still a bunch of iPads that do not have a Retina display. So sometimes you need to create two kinds of images if you place images within your apps. A version with the add2x, which specifies that it has double resolution because you're going to use it for Retina display, or without the add2x, which is then used for non-Retina display. So I can just drag and drop this image onto the left side here, and you see that it is directly imported without the add2x, but the 2x is specified here. So this Xcode automatically detects that this is a 2x version of this image because we specified it using add2x at the end of the file name. All right, now we can go back to our storyboard, which is actually the place where all of your user interface components and your whole user interface is built. So we're going to discuss the storyboard in a later video. So for now, let's just click on the Show Attributes inspector, and there is a drop-down menu where we can select an image, and we will select our Swift Man as an image. And as you can see, it is a little distorted. This is because we have a view mode called Scale to Fill here, which does not take the aspect ratio into account. It just wants to fill the container. So we can choose between aspect fit or aspect fill, which respects the aspect ratio, but in this case, we can't see the whole image using aspect fill. So let's just use aspect fit. This scales it down. We have a lot of white space, but that's all right. So there we go. We have our image. We have our button. So let's just double click on the button and say apply effect. So this is what the button is going to do. When I now run it in the simulator by just clicking on this play button again, which says build and run, build the application and run it in the simulator, then we get the representation in our storyboard translated into a real user interface. So if I press this, you can already see that this is actually working, but nothing else happens. So what are we going to do? We want this image effect you saw earlier to be applied to this image. So how do we do that? First of all, we need to say that something must happen once we click on this button. So therefore, there's a great way called the assistant editor. Once you're in a storyboard and click the assistant editor, you will get, let me just close this to get some more space so that you can see everything. Let me make this window a little bigger. All right. So you have the storyboard on the left side, and you have the code that is associated with the storyboard on the right side. So what are we actually going to do? Well, Apple made it pretty easy to connect storyboard user interface with the code. So all you need to do now is press the control key on your keyboard, press the control key, click and hold on the button, and now you see you get a little line as long as you press the control button on your keyboard. And I can now just drag to this code over here, and you see it says insert outlet, action, or outlet collection. And what we want to do is create an action that occurs when the user hits this button. So let's just release our mouse here, and you see that there is going to be a connection. And we choose not outlet, we choose action, because we want an action to happen once the user taps this button. And we name it, let's say, apply effect. And click on connect, and you see that immediately the code responsible for applying the image effect is written here. Well, it's basically it's the skeleton of our code. We have to fill in a little more logic here, but that makes clear that Xcode helps you in writing your code and helps you saving time when creating a user interface and connect it with your code that you're going to write. So that was actually the first step. Let's now see if something happens. And there's a great function called print line. By saying print ln and opening a parentheses and a closing parentheses, I can now enter a so-called string within these parentheses. And a string is nothing else but a set of characters or a sentence or a word, whatever. So if I write two quotation marks, then I can just write between them, let's say, hello world, which is actually the first example that you do when you start programming, but we will just include that in this little nicer example. And if I now, again, press the build and run button and say, well, stop the current app in the simulator, and now I click on the apply effect button, then you see that we have a console down here which says hello world, and that is exactly what we just wrote on our in our code.